For me, it is about the law and people.
That is not a legal defense, let me tell you.
And how people can resolve and better themselves.
Justice with passion.
I knew I was going to go into law because I always defended everybody. I was always the one who found a solution and tried to resolve the problem by having people talk to each other.
Justice with truth.
I'm giving you one more chance to tell me the truth.
This is Justice for All with Judge Cristina Perez. Jessica Vaden is suing Kim Bright in the amount of $1,000. Ms. Vaden claims the defendant's dog is responsible for the upholstery damage in her car. Ms. Bright claims the stains in the plaintiff's car are not her fault, and she feels she's paid enough in damages.
All parties have been sworn in, Your Honor.
Thank you, Renard. Ms. Vaden, you are suing the defendant, Ms. Bright, for $1,000.
Yes,
Okay.
Your Honor.
And this has something to do with your dog being injured.
Correct.
Okay, what happened?
Okay, well, Kim and I have been friends for quite some time now, and about a year ago we decided to move in together. And within a few months we noticed that it wasn't really working out. I'm a bit messier than she is, and you know, I try to help out with as much as I can. And like you mentioned, she does have a dog. It's about a year old, really rambunctious, 75-pound Chow German Shepherd mix.
Wow.
Yes. And I happen to have a 5-year-old Spaniel mix, and she's very well behaved, love of my life. However, Kim really isn't home that much to take care of her dog. And because of her job, you know, she's an HR director, and I only work 5 minutes away at a solar company. So with that being said, a lot of the responsibility falls on my hands. And
To take care of both of the dogs?
Yes. And of course, I take care of...
Why would you leave her in charge to take care of your own dog?
Okay, Your Honor, I'm in HR. Okay, I work most of the time. Basically, she's always looking for jobs. And when she's not working, I ask her to take care of my dog.
Do you pay her?
I don't because I assume responsibility for her.
Okay. What do you mean you assume responsibility?
Well, yeah, because she's younger, so she's in and out of jobs. She's not compliant with me sometimes with rent and stuff.
So does that
so
mean...
it's like I'm taking care of her, and I understand she's my friend.
Do you pay for most of the bills?
Most of the time, I do.
Your Honor,
and I'm okay. And I'm okay with that.
Okay.
I'm okay with that.
So
because
do you pay the majority of the rent?
I do. I
Really?
do. Yes, ma'am. I do.
I pay as much as I can, whenever I can. I try to be on time. However, yes, I do struggle sometimes.
But so why would you... okay. Why live in or rent an apartment, even if it's with a good friend, if you can't afford to?
Well, unfortunately, I just finished college a few years ago. Oh,
Can you move
a year
back
ago.
home with your parents?
I'm sorry?
Can you move back home with your parents?
They're in Houston, and I found this job, so I'd really like to stay here as much as I can. And
she's only had this job for a week.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And I'm okay with that.
Okay, so
I'm
you're
okay.
fine.
Yes, I'm okay with that because I was once her age. So I'm trying to help her.
Okay. So then you think it's fair, hey, while you're not working, since I'm paying for
Watch
most of
my
the
dog.
rent, can
Yes.
you just make sure the dog's okay? Is your dog fully trained?
No, he's a baby.
Oh,
He's
I
a baby.
see.
He's only a year old.
But are you getting him trained? Do you take responsibility for him in that sense?
she watches YouTube videos sometimes to train her dog.
Okay. That's not how you train a dog.
I fully understand
I did that too, but that's not how you
I
train
fully
a dog.
understand that, but I just feel that I don't have time, Your Honor.
Then you
I
shouldn't
don't-
own a pet.
And I agree completely.
It's not fair to your dog.
I understand.
Okay,
I
all right.
understand.
So then let's talk about what happened, Ms. Vaden.
Absolutely.
And why we're here suing your friend for $1,000.
Sure. So, like I said, she usually just throws on, hey, can you watch my dog? I'm going to go visit my friends or my family. And she likes to take off quite frequently, actually.
Okay. But you're not complaining because she's footing the bills.
Correct. However, it is such late notice that unfortunately I've had to miss work sometimes because of it. I have, because
She's had to miss work because she's taking care of your
Honor,
dog?
She's never brought this to my attention. Now, if I knew she had, you know, you had a job interview, you had another job to do and stuff like that, I would totally understand. You can bring that to my attention.
You're
you
not
never
very
did.
approachable.
A simple text.
She's not approachable and she's taking care of you like if she were your mother and paying your rent and your groceries and your electricity and your water and your power and your gas?
Correct.
And she's not approachable?
but she yells at me for everything, even things like she has an OCD thing where she has to have everything perfectly placed, and I understand that it is your home. I'm here to help you. However, I can't talk to her about simple things like her dog because she thinks it's very trivial and small, immature things to talk about.
She is the one that is unapproachable. She gets these, she's an alcoholic pretty much, okay? So she drinks to an excess and she becomes very aggressive.
Coming up on Justice for All.
When I get home, I notice that our huge bay window is completely shattered. And I'm thinking that somebody's in the house. I'm terrified.
And later.
And I was having a party that weekend, and I wanted it to be cool. So that was a problem for me.
Closed captioning provided by. If you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. You're watching Justice for All with Judge Cristina Perez. We're back with the case of Jessica Vaden, who is suing Kim Bright for $1,000.
Clearly, you two should not be living together.
Yes.
And are you still living together?
No, ma'am, not anymore.
All right. Okay. So then let's get to why you're suing her for $1,000.
Absolutely. So the day of the incident, I received a text message right after work saying that she needed to go visit her family. So I decided to rush home because I, want to see my dog. And when I get home, I notice that our huge bay window is completely shattered. And I'm thinking that somebody's in the house. I'm terrified. So I look around and I see this huge trail of blood leading to our bedrooms. And I'm terrified thinking that my dog's been slaughtered or something. And I see my dog wagging her tail. She's fine and everything, but I can tell she wants me to follow her. So I follow her to Kim's bedroom and I see her dog Bo covered in blood on top of her rug. And I'm terrified. I don't know what to do. I grab a towel and I try to get the dog into my car. And in doing so, I notice that he has a gash under his left armpit. So I apply pressure to the dog and I rush him to the vet as quickly as I can. And the vet says that he's so lucky that I found him because if not, he would have bled to death. And I love this dog. I would do anything for my friend, and anyway, so
if you would do anything for me, what are we doing here? You could have, we could have settled this.
Your Honor, I've tried to reach out, and she's not answering any of my phone calls.
Okay, so why are you suing her for $1,000?
Because I have my invoice for the car damages from her dog that bled completely all over my back seat, and this is the insurance.
But I thought you wrapped the dog in a towel.
I put it under his armpit to stop the bleeding.
Okay, did you grab anything else to put him in your car?
No, I was terrified. I didn't know what to do.
And where did you put the dog?
In the back seat.
Okay. And you didn't naturally grab towels to prevent
I tried to get the dog to the car, and I grabbed a towel, like I said, to try to stop the bleeding.
We have plastic bags, in the kitchen area as soon as you walk into the kitchen.
I was terrified. Your dog was bleeding.
I understand that.
Okay, so what happened? So then you took the dog to the vet.
So I took the dog to the vet.
Okay.
Yes, the dog is okay. They stitched up her lacerations, and he had to stay overnight. So I called Kim, and she was incredibly rude about the entire thing, blaming me for everything. When she left the dog outside, she could have easily put the dog in the back bedroom, like we usually do, because her dog likes to bark at people passing by and birds and everything. So,
So he tried to run inside?
No, he was inside, and what we assume happened, because we weren't there, is that he ran up to the bay window and pushed it, and the glass fell.
So this is just an assumption. This is you assuming.
There.
Exactly. So then it's we don't know if Mandy, your dog, did it. We don't know if a
All right,
passerby.
ladies. Okay, so you feel that Miss Bright should be responsible for your $1,000 deductible to get your car cleaned or your reupholstery cleaned?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you try to clean the car?
Yes, I did.
Do you have any evidence of that?
I don't, but
Okay.
I read that hydrogen peroxide does take out blood stains.
How long did you wait to clean the car?
Almost immediately, because it was everywhere. It was on my clothing. I had to throw away my clothing.
Did you bring me any evidence that you tried to clean the car?
Yes, I did. I tried to clean the car, but I don't
any
have
evidence that I have?
No, I don't.
So because this is to reupholster your whole car, your front seat and your back seat.
The dog was kind of bleeding everywhere. I did put it in the back seat, but it was.
Well, what about the carpets?
Absolutely. There was blood everywhere. I tried to clean
this
it
is
up.
just to reupholster the seats, the front seats and the back seats.
Yes,
so I
Your
would
Honor.
imagine the carpet would have gotten dirty also.
Yes.
So does that include this fee, or you're not?
Yes, I would say that includes the entire the entire invoice of the
Your
damages.
Honor, when the window was broken, I didn't ask her to help me pay for it. When my rug was ruined, I didn't ask her to help me pay for it. When, you know, when the vet bills, you know, they keep accumulating because I still have to take him for therapy for his the gash on his little arm. I'm not asking her to pay for it.
Well, you shouldn't. It's your dog.
Exactly, and the bills just keep piling on. Okay, and
Your Honor,
this is months later.
Have you ever asked for money back for rent?
No, never.
Has she asked you for any reimbursement of electricity bills?
No, she has not.
Of gas,
No.
of cable, of phone?
Because she's like my little
groceries?
sister. I was trying to help you. That's why I don't understand. This hurts me so bad that we're here.
Why wouldn't she ask you for reimbursement of all that?
Your Honor, I really don't know, but truly...
But you know that she paid for all this, right?
Correct.
So why would you sue her for $1,000?
Well, because it's terrifying to walk into your car and
Aside from that, why would you? I mean, it seems pretty it's pretty entitled of you to turn around and sue your friend who's been paying your rent and paying your food bill and everything else for quite a long time, for you to turn around and sue her for $1,000 because you want to get your whole upholstery replaced in your car. And I know blood is very difficult to get out, but people do miracles with blood, especially with upholstery, and you haven't given me any evidence that you try to do that. What you're saying is I want brand new upholstery, not just for the back seat, but for all of my car.
And Your Honor,
that really makes me doubt, you know, why you're doing this, and you know, and also, Ms. Baden, you took on the responsibility, thank God that you were there, to take the dog
and I appreciate
to the vet.
that.
Ms. Bright, you took on the responsibility to take the dog to the vet. You should have taken other precautions. I hate to sound cold, but you should have taken other precautions to protect your car and make sure it wasn't getting dirty. You know, and if you didn't, that's something that you did because out of the kindness of your own heart. So I don't feel that Ms. Bright is responsible for that. So I'm going to deny your claim.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else? All right. So based on that, I will deny your claim for $1,000 and rule in favor of the defendant.
Thank you.
All rise.
Judge Perez has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim has been denied.
Kim, I appreciate everything you've done for me in the past, but my car is ruined, and I did save your dog.
Jessica, I've done enough for you already, and I apologize about your car, but it didn't have to come to this.
Coming up on Justice for All.
Why does he owe you this money?
He did an unsatisfactory job to begin with when I asked him to fix my unit.
Closed captioning provided by... You're watching Justice for All with Judge Cristina Perez. Carla Dixon is suing Jake Riverton in the amount of $865. Ms. Dixon claims Mr. Riverton did an unsatisfactory job fixing her air conditioner, which later broke. Mr. Riverton claims he completed the job, including cleaning out the leaves in the AC fan, and says when he offered to put in a new AC unit, the plaintiff declined.
All parties have been sworn in, Your Honor.
Thank you, Renard. Ms. Dixon, you were having problems with your air conditioning unit.
Yes.
That's why we're here today suing him for $865.
Yes.
Why does he owe you this money?
He did an unsatisfactory job to begin with when I asked him to fix my unit.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Explain.
So I'm suing him for this money because I had used him before, and Jake Riverton and his independent company, he was great. I had virtually no problems, so I figured I'd call him again. And
when had you used him before?
I'm sorry?
When had you used his services before?
I think it had been 7 years. Yeah, so it was a while back.
And you went to check on her air conditioning?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so 7 years ago you used him. Did you, service the air conditioning unit?
Yes, ma'am. I checked to make sure everything was running smoothly, checked the Freon level.
Those 7 years ago?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So then fast forward, you're
Right.
having problems again with the air conditioning unit?
Yes, it wasn't blowing out any cool air, and they're getting some leaves getting caught in it. So I called him again, and my house is old. He knows the unit, so wanted him to come back, but he was really hard to get a hold of.
Coming up.
The air was cold. I was happy and hot, just wanted to cool down, paid him, and he was on his way.
Okay.
But an hour later, it stopped working.
Closed captioning provided by... You're watching Justice for All with Judge Cristina Perez. We're back with the case of Carla Dixon, who is suing Jake Riverton for unsatisfactory repairs.
So when I hadn't heard from him, that was a little off-putting, but I finally got a call back from him on that Monday. He said he would come in and take a look. So when he did, he said he insisted that I get a new unit entirely.
So 7 years later, you show up at Miss Dixon's home, and she calls you because she's having problems with her air conditioner. You check it out.
Yes.
Okay, what happens?
As I went to check it out, and apparently there's been a tree that was there, and I guess it grown into, and as you could see right here, I took a picture of the tree.
Okay, Renard all of your evidence, please. Okay.
Everything.
Do you have any other
that's
evidence?
it, just the picture.
Okay. So you went to go
and I checked on it,
again?
and as you can see, there's the branch that's just covering the whole AC unit. You could barely see what it looks like.
I see it. Uh-huh.
And then I cleaned out all the leaves. I checked everything else, the condenser, the Freon. There was a small leak, and I did repair that. But I did suggest to her that she needs to cut those branches back so there's no longer leaves clogging up the airflow for the AC.
Okay, and you also suggested she should get a new air conditioning unit at that time?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So then you were satisfied with that?
I was not. I mean, while he was there, I was. He fixed it after I told him, no, I'm not getting a new unit because that would be almost $3,000. I said, no, I don't want to pay for that right now. He said, fine, I'll just do what you asked. After 2 or 3 hours of work, he had me come feel the air was cold. I was happy and hot, just wanted to cool down, paid him, and he was on his way.
Okay.
But an hour later, it stopped working.
Judge Perez's verdict when Justice for All returns. Promotional consideration provided by...
I was having a party that weekend, and I wanted it to be cool. So that was a problem for me, and he wasn't responding.
Okay, did he finally respond?
Yes, but it wasn't until after the party.
Okay, all right. And so you came back and you looked at the air conditioning again?
Yes, ma'am. I came back.
And what happened the second time?
The same problem. The leaves were there, the coil was frozen, and I asked her what she keeps her temperature at, and she says 63 degrees, which is not a very good idea, especially if something's covered like that.
So did you replace that?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, you have to. Once it's frozen, you have to change it out.
All right. You don't want to buy a new one the first time?
No, I didn't have the money at the time to
What do you do for a living, Ms. Dixon?
I'm a personal assistant.
Okay. And so if you go to work for 2 weeks and you do work and your boss didn't like your work, should he still pay you?
Yes.
Same theory here. He did work, he went and he actually did work. At that first time, he didn't tell you change an air conditioner. If it happened, he went twice, 3 times. And the third time, it was obviously that you needed a new unit. So based on that, I find no grounds for the defendant to reimburse you $865. So based on that, I will deny your claim. Good luck.
All rise.
Judge Perez has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim has been denied.
I understand you did the work, but if you knew you were going to replace the AC unit, you shouldn't have completed the repair.
I apologize for the miscommunication, and next time your AC needs repair, I will give you a discount.
This has been a production of Entertainment Studios.